for the bulldozer and the grader.
It's okay. Go to the reference. What is it showing?
Chair, it says request for payment of the balance for the completed works on the borehole for water recreation.
Just end there. So if there is insurance on top and the request is a balance for boreholes, and I have seen, should I keep quiet?
No, Chair.
No wonder the vice chair said DF is showing us payments which are not mentioned.
I earlier said, members of the committee, that our colleagues from the councils are not serious. They would pick any document, put it there. I used an example of a newspaper. One day we shall find one. They will pick any document and put it there. They don't go through it. What they just rush to come here and start talking and giving information. The unfortunate thing, this committee reads. And if you are not serious as members of the council, as this side we are serious. So, Town Clerk, do you see this unfair balance? This side we are serious. We have been told, can you check what the councils are doing? Are they utilizing the enhanced CDF properly? Yourselves, sometimes you feel unfairly treated. Here it is. So now, if this can be exposed to us, what more those documents you are keeping in your offices? No wonder we have payments done by the council without supporting documents, missing vouchers. Yesterday one council told us that the box file for these were moving for bursaries. By the time auditors came, it was moving from one and we could not find it. And now the audit, we have appeared, we found it where it had gone to. These things are, it's not just an exaggeration. It's a real thing, Town Clerk. I've seen it. Fembag Enterprise Limited, Mufurira Municipal Council. Amounts paid 18,504. The attachments are talking about this is Sarah now again. Yeah, talking about boreholes. Here you are talking about something else. Now, the question which the Vice Chairperson, Honorable Shakafus, was asked, you have not answered. Is it true that for you to make any payment, you need the authority of the CDF committee and approvals by the authority of any variation that you want to do? Because this is administrative cost. It has its own use. But you started getting or indulging in this to, let me add the totals of what you, in total for the 3 constituencies, so that the people of Mufurira should know. Page 13. Page 13. Yes, I'll add. For Mufurira constituency, it was overpaid by 380,255. Plus Kantanshi 357. 419. Plus Kankoyo 238. 484. Total 976,158. Did you seek any authority, or is it true that any variation or using money for bursaries or using money for administrative cost, it needs authority or maybe attention of the CDF committee? Then after approval by the provincial office, either by the minister or the PRGO. Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. I seek the indulgence of Director of Finance and Chair on the earlier one for fund back. We regret, but I must indicate, Chair, it was a paper, the same paper that was used twice. If you check, the 1850 is for the initial document, which is appearing in all of us. But that one, it's where a photocopy was used on on a already printed document. So it was just a mistake. That's why in all other documents it's not there. We apologize, Chair, for that.
Yeah, this should be the 8th apology I'm writing here. The DF has done maybe 4 times saying we regret meaning that you are sorry. So I'm counting as we go. DF, I've asked a question.
Chair, indeed we needed the authority of the CDFC committee, which of course I can say we didn't get. However, we were making reports to the CDF committee in every
Come out
setting.
clear. Did you seek authority of the CDFC committee?
Chair, no, we didn't seek the authority.
Why?
Chair, I think that was a wrong part on our side.
What?
Chair, we do regret that indeed we didn't seek authority.
Town Clerk, this is a 9th regret. I'm counting. Now, you are employed, all of you, as professionals, to manage the resources. How safe is the CDF in Mufurira that you can just dip yourselves into the monies without authority of the CDF committee, without a provincial government officer? You can use that money. How safe is the other monies? This is administrative component. You go negative by almost 1 million. And you just come and say we regret. Going against the regulation. Honorable Mtelo.
They have regretted. Page 7.
Honorable Kampamba, before page 7, you wanted to say something? Or we continue on page 7? You are our only lady on this table from our side.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know whether I'm confused or disappointed. Maybe through your Chair, Town Clerk, DF, do you understand the regulations or the scope of work in your management? Because, Chair, if people are going to come, for me, I feel these councils, of course, know exactly what they're doing. And I think for them it's to come and say, we regret, and we'll continue doing the same things year in, year out. For me, I would want to believe that this is a very learned council who knows the regulations and authority where it needs to be sought.
Correct.
But if we are going to say, no, we'll omit that part, and you're coming to a committee, and for me, Chair, I'm not very comfortable with the regret. It's like it's business as usual. People must take accountability. So my question is, DF, did you know that you were supposed to seek authority? Or it was an oversight, or it was business as usual? I would want to hear it from DF. Did you know? Do you understand that you are supposed to, you can just not do variations? There are procedures and guidelines to variations. Did you not know? Or it was just an oversight? Maybe that is the answer I would want to know.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kampamba. Our learned officers. Town Clerk, this one is not for the DF. The DF will come in. Help us. The question is very clear.
Thank you so very much, Chair. Chair, the regulations, we understand them. And in 2023 October, I asked my Director of Finance when I joined them to say, can I have the ledgers of all the CDF accounts? That's when, Chair, it was also noted that we had already gone into negatives, and immediately we stopped using administrative component. We continued, if there was anything to do with handover, we'd just proceed with handovers and not spend, because we kept spending in the account that was already in red. So, Chair, after doing the reconciliation, we stopped. But like he had indicated, we did not seek any approvals beforehand.
You don't seek approvals. Vice Chair, you started this.
Chair, my question is not clear. I asked a question. Did you not know that there are regulations, or did you not know? I appreciate the answer by the town clerk. My question, I want a straightforward answer. Was it an oversight, or you knew that there were these regulations, or the standard procedure for variation was this? I do understand that you came in. So maybe, again, maybe I want to find out, DF, were you there at that time?
He was there.
Yes, so my question is very simple. Did you not know the standard procedure of variation under the CDF component? Or it was just an oversight? Or it was business as usual? I just want, yes?
Thank you very much. DF.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I knew. We intended to seek authority, but I think it was an oversight on our part. We didn't do that. I hence say, I to say
The Vice
this
Chair.
is regrettable.
Chair,
This is the 10th regulation.
I'm getting worried, and my worry is that the trend that was happening with the local government equalization fund is now moving to CDF. Local government equalization fund, before the repeal of the law on the capping of the 20%, it was a requirement that the 20% goes to service delivery. But councils with impunity disregarded the cap and used the money to pay themselves and for operations. Here we are, we have easy money for the council, 5% for administration. They are going overboard to affect other CDF components. You go negative by 900 and
37 or 57.
976,000, meaning that other CDF components were affected. TC, or is it DF? What CDF components were affected by your decision to overspend on the administrative fund by 976,000 kwacha?
Thank you, Chair. On the CDF components which were affected, at that time, we still had a number of projects which were yet to be implemented. So we still had funds in the accounts. So there were no other components which were affected.
I understand, Chair.
There were.
There were projects that were affected, because those funds were meant for those other projects that were being implemented. So where did you get the money from? It was for which projects? Because you had 1.4 million kwacha under administrative costs.
Sensitization is
You
one of the
exhausted
projects.
all this and still went to get other monies that are meant for the enjoyment of citizens, and not you, the local authority. So when you say there was no project that was affected, you're overspending on you, the officers, on monies that are meant for projects. It means that certain projects or payments could not have been made on time because you use the money for administration.
DF, before I ask Honorable Munanda, DF, it's a very serious issue. We don't want to demonstrate to you. He has already demonstrated to you which other areas were affected by your decision, arbitrary, to just indulge yourselves with no authority from CDF committee. What do you think government is putting these regulations for? Just to add on, what do you think is the rationale by government to put regulations for you to do this? Don't touch this, use this. If you want to touch this, ask for permission. And he has given a background. He has been around in the system. Local Government Equalization Fund, 20% capital component was being abused without courtesy, no authority from the... Now you have come to CDF without the CDF committee. The CDF committee is just seated at home. The MP is seated. You are juggling around, indulging in with the monies. Today we shall ensure get this amount. Seated in your offices. In Mufurira. So there is respond, DF.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, indeed. If we are to spend the funds at once, yes, certain projects will be affected. But at this moment, Chair, I can't really point out to say that project or this project was affected.
Let me demonstrate to DF that there are projects that are affected, and one of them is the recovery of loans, the engagement into communities where this money was supposed to be, by and large, applicable, other than buying the equipment, the spares. Because if you look at page 17, Chairperson, you find that the recovery on loans is not there. So which money can you use? If you are getting the money that you are supposed to use to engage the communities or check on the progress of the beneficiaries, is being taken to work on the road. That's why in the first place, Chairperson had asked, didn't they budget on their own without this money that came from the government to work on the roads? Because they're supposed to have a separate budget on their own as a local authority. This money that comes as a specific guidelines to say, no, we're going to use this money to monitor the projects, to sensitize their communities. Now it's gone into the spares of a grader or another equipment.
So what Honorable is just augmenting to what Honorable Shakafuswa said. Monitoring, administrative fund is used for monitoring, for following up those who got loans, for sensitizing the WDCs or training them. It's budget that is specifically put there. But you start using that money without authority of the CDF committee. Now, me, I want now to ask other officers here. Procurement and the audit. I want your attention on this particular one. The payment to do insurance is supposed to be budgeted for, as it was mentioned by Honorable Mutero. You didn't budget. Now you are going into administrative fund meant for other activities. When these documents came to yourselves as a procurement, you should have, the first question is, where are the funds coming from? As a procurement, you are part of the CDF committee. Then you look at, have these activities that we are planning to finance, have they been approved? Which minute of the CDF committee? Because there is a minute that you use, and minutes are done within a short period of time so that they help you as the accompanying documents to justify that payment. Procurement, you are procuring items or services or goods that were not approved by the CDF committee, not even the government officials at the province. You are procuring insurance, you are procuring other items mentioned here from SARO, from which company? Procurement and audit. What was your role, especially auditor? Okay, both of you. On these, what was the basis for your approval? Procurement, you can come forward. We start with the procurement, then audit. planner, you are also needed. You are part of the CDF committee. We know planner, come on that other seat. Oh, Honorable Kampamba has moved out. We want to get short answers, but precise, so that we go to other questions.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The actions by procurement were just based on the requests that were coming from the user departments, and we. Yes, Chair.
And
thank you.
amplify your voice.
Yes, Chair. And I want to indicate that truly the background check as regards the budgeting overruns were not cross-checked. We just relied our actions on the requests that came to procure insurance and the other requisites. Thank you, Chair.
Audit.
Thank you, Chair. We regret
This is number 12. This is not a laughable matter.
Yes, Chair. We regret that we did not seek for approval from the CDFC on the insurance and other procurements which were done when we are auditing the voucher. Chair.
What are the sanctions to that? Because you have become a danger to the resources. As the Vice Chairperson has indicated, you have no right to use monies in this vote that is kept. Now you in Mufulira, you can do whatever you feel. Today, without people outside, within the council, let's use this money. Contrary to the regulation and guidance from the Ministry of Law Government, approved by Parliament. Don't do this. You in Mufulira, you say no. Us, as far as we are here, even the CDF committee from Mufulira, no. You just use the money. And you come here and say we regret. What are we doing to our country? And the procurement has said clearly that, no background check, as long as it comes from the DF, can you pay? You just pay without checking if there is a minute approval and anything, you just pay. You have become a danger to your own country, to your own government. This is not good. Honorable Mtelo, another question.
Chair, if you allow, if you say we wind, then we will be winding. Thank you for the addendum, because some of the prior, they have answered in the addendum. Page 6 and 7 on the roads. And Appendix 7. The very last evidence you've given, 1, 2, 3, 4. The works approved in June, they should have finished September 28. No work done. In Kankoyo. Chair, Auditor General's office comes 3rd October 2023 to discover no works was done.
13 months.
Yes, sir.
After expected completion
Then
date.
they have given us evidence. The inspection was 3rd October. They have given evidence to say in September 15th, 18th, 19th, 20th, the same year they bought fuel. So they used that fuel where? They were inspected in October the same year. Fuels bought September. Where did they use the fuel? Because they have put that as evidence pertaining to this query. The very last vouchers payments on Appendix 7.
Town clerk.
Thank you so very much, Chair. The roadworks, like indicated in our document, the roadworks were delayed for Kankoyo constituents due to the fact that we had one set of equipment that which was going through the three constituencies.
We take note of
Chair,
that.
the issue to do with the voucher which is being cited for September, the works actually started in September. We started the works in September and they finished in January. Sir. So at the time the auditor came, we had already started the processes of procuring the fuels and grading some of the roads in Kankoyo constituency.
I hear the town clerk. The process to procure fuel is done on 15th September. On 3rd October, the processes have not finished to start the works in Kankoyo. How long does it take that process to finish? For how long?
Town clerk, as we wind up.
Chair, the processes were, most of them were concluded, and we started with grading, but we had not, at the time of query, we had not started forming the roads where we bring the foreign materials, the laterite, to start formation of these roads. So when the auditors came on site, grading was in progress, but formation was not done. Submit, Chair.
But they had these documents they have brought on to your committee. Why didn't you avail the same documents to the auditors? What was wrong? They come on 3rd October. You have these documents in September. What was wrong to give them to say this is what is happening?
TC.
Chair, the documents were availed, but like indicated, the formation was not done.
We, as you always say, whatever we can say, it's a beauty that the people of Mfulira and the people of Zambia are seeing. We are merely asking you the things that you are doing wrong things. So I will conclude. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. On the same.
Thank you, Honorable Mtero. Thank you, Vice Chair.
On the same on rehabilitation of roads in Kankoyo, we appreciate that you jointly procured earth-moving equipment, the three constituencies. Now, when you are executing roadworks in any of the constituencies, why don't you have a schedule, a work schedule, to indicate priority roads, what time, when these equipment will be in that particular area? It will avoid these kind of queries where Minister of Local Government already agrees with you to implement this project in Kankoyo. Now, because it is somewhere in Kantanshi, also Mufulira Central, so are you planning to conduct an inventory of the needs assessment of the roads in the three constituencies and rank them, prioritize when we will be doing these roads? That's the first question. The second one is on page 4. The water reticulation at Mutamba Primary School in Kantanshi. The contract awarded at 184,820 to drill a borehole, electrical works, plumbing works, tank stand, painting, decoration, and so on, for 2 months, ending 31st December 2023. And then the contract was executed, but it had an overflowing soakaway pit, which you've given us the picture on page 4. The points of clarification I want to seek is that on appendix 4, which is speaking to page
As we
4,
wind up,
why? I mean, the defects liability period, according to the certificate, ended in September 2024, but you are saying that you corrected the defect because the defect was within the defects liability period. So the defects liability period ended in September 2024, but this problem happened or surfaced in November. So similar to the other problem that we had. Then I see the payment voucher for the 171,000 on appendix 4 is dated the 4th April 2025. 2024, sorry. So which means the contract ended in December and the contractor only got paid on 4th April 2024. How do you reconcile this statement as what the auditors found on page 4? The auditors stated that as at 31st December 2023, the contractor had been paid amounts totaling 171,297. But the appendix that you have given us on appendix 4 shows that the contractor was only paid on 4th April 2024. In this picture that you have provided, where is the tank? The tank and the borehole? Is it in the addendum? Okay. All right. And
as we wind up, Doc,
this problem, this contractor that he rectified of overflow of water on a soccer way, do you consider this problem as a defect or a maintenance problem?
okay. Okay, thank you
Chair,
very much.
as we are winding, so that you get everything. Page 14, Kankoyo again. Approved project 50. Implemented 27. Work in progress 0. Outstanding works 23. Why? As we are winding up, save chair, you've said let's wind.
No, this is critical. You can go ahead.
So we end here because we would still go to bursaries and say, we'll follow the chair. Why?
I've given you a chance. Go ahead.
50 approved. Implemented 27. Work in progress 0. Outstanding 23. Roads Kankoyo. Even here Kankoyo. Why?
But it should be short questions.
Chair, I end here.
Don't end. I will give you room.
I end here.
For now, let us
Yes,
ask
sir.
the town clerk and the team to respond.
Thank you so very much, Chair. Chair, currently we are doing the road maps for the roads as we are executing them to ensure that there is flow implementation as we are doing the feeder roads in our district. So we have a scheduled roadmap which we can even share with yourselves
No
in
problem.
consultation with our civic leaders and members of parliament.
Correct.
Then for maintenance problem and Mutamba School at Sock Pit, I will seek the indulgence of my Director Engineering.
Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. So the problem to do with the sock pit,
Is it a defect or?
it's actually a defect.
Okay.
If you've seen what we've indicated in the remedial measures, we've mentioned that management shall ensure that immediately after handover, a letter is written to the end user that they take full responsibility of the structure and fittings. So on this one, it's both, because when we went that side, we found, I don't know whether they didn't understand the purpose, that's where they threw a lot of silt in it. That's the more reason why it got choked. So we had to actually meet them and explain to them. So this is why we are trying to explain in the remedial measure that they should take full responsibility. Then on the other hand, we also came to realize that it was not covered. So because of that, that's how come we engaged the contractor, and we came on site to ensure that this is corrected. And to this effect, Chair, this has been corrected.
With your indulgence, Chair. Other questions from Honorable Mtelo before Doc comes in. Doc, allow them to respond. 50 implemented. 50 approved projects. Implemented 27. Work in progress 0. Outstanding 23. How do you explain that, Town Clerk and your team? Director, thank you.
Chair, I wish to indicate that at the time of engagement with the auditor, this table was not given to us. If it was given to us, we would have provided the information. Actually, all the projects, the 23, except just the roads were in progress, but the roads were the only ones that were not in progress.
We are very uncomfortable. Earlier on, I asked you, do we proceed without the DEB's office? You said, no, let's proceed. Now, every moment there are issues here, you always pass your back and want to blame the auditors. Auditors were at your council, you engaged, these matters were raised. Even in your exit meetings, they were raised. This is what we have found. Now you want to come and disown this report of ours. Town Clerk, please desist from that. Follow up, then I'll ask
with your
Vice.
indulgence.
Okay, before Honorable Mtelo, let's ask the Vice Chair.
Yes, I want to ask you, Chair, to ask the Town Clerk to withdraw her remarks. Because if you read her response on page 14, she's acknowledging what the auditors found. And she's given an explanation that for Kankoyo, 27 projects were implemented, and 27 projects were implemented for Kankoyo constituency, and 23 were outstanding at the time. Meaning what is shown in this table is actually was the correct position at the time. Okay, and they've only implemented now.
After the audit,
yes,
in 2024.
Yes, Chair. So I wish to seek your indulgence as she withdraws that with an apology, Chair.
Chair, as you've been asked by, maybe may I ask you, Town Clerk, when you say management response, it's for who?
Town Clerk?
Chair, to start with the one from
No.
Chair.
Start with Honorable Mtelo first.
When you say,
When you say
management
management
response, it is coming from who?
Chair, it's coming from ourselves.
Then later you say, no, we don't know that.
Chair, I seek to withdraw.
Right? No wonder the Vice Chair is seeking on your behalf. It's not the committee, Madam, and your team. We just pick what has been presented. It's good they are here, but even them, you are saying at the time of query. Yourself as management. Earlier on, when we were starting, I said, take it easy, cool down. That's the medicine. What I was reading and stating, though I had put it on my own paper, I picked it from here, sir. Management response.
And which management?
Mufurira Municipal Council. What did they say? 50 approved, 27 implemented, work in progress 0, outstanding 23. Why? Kankoyo again. In terms of roads, Kankoyo again. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. I don't want to go further. If it were you, in here, it's your work not done. In there, it's your work not done. Your colleagues' work is being done. Even if it were you and you are given the same amount, how were you going to feel? I'll give you an example of Lusaka constituency. At one time, Mandevu was suffering until the MP for that area, whom I may know or not know, came in and asked, what's happening in Mandevu?
You have been apologizing since morning. And at all area indicated, the problem that you have, you fail to do the work, you want to come and respond and answer the way you feel like, contrary to what you have written. We read these things, you own. So, as the honorable members have indicated, the vice and honorable member for Mitete, what will be your position over this? I don't want to ask you to apologize because I'm counting. You'll be saying, no, you forced us to apologize. What is your opinion? Withdraw. Town clerk.
Thank you so very much, Chair. I wish to withdraw the earlier statement.
You don't even apologize because we are counting for you. Because you are misleading. This issue of Cap 12 is not just a rhetoric. These are the rules here. You don't come here and contradict your own report, give false information. In other jurisdictions in Uganda, there is a prosecutor and a police. You do this, you are playing around with public resources, you go in. But here in Zambia, we lost our morals. We are losing our morals. This is normal. As the vice chairman has said, look at the Local Government Equalization Fund. The government says, here is the money used for other recurrent expenditure. This one, deal with it for capital projects. You go into capital projects, you can do whatever. Then you come here, we shall go and regret. So you get allowances and resources just to come here and regret. We can keep on and keep on. Dr. Mwanza, I know you are itching to ask a question. Time is not with us. We are not getting anywhere with the Mufulira Council. Doc, this report is in public domain. We can talk and talk. Time, we can talk, we can go the whole day. I have not asked a question even myself. I have read this. I have not asked a question I wanted to show you. So, there are issues here. So, Doc, I want to seek your indulgence. I know you are itching to ask questions. We should be winding up. This is a bad report in Mufulira Council. And as I said yesterday, I'm doing an analysis. We are doing an analysis to ensure what is the problem with the municipal and city councils. Later on, we are going to see, is it only copper belt? So that we are fair. What did you do? At the end of the day, the people are blaming honorable members of parliament from your constituencies. At the end of the day, the people are blaming government. What else can a president do apart from giving monies to his people? I want development in Kankoyo, in Mufulira. I want development in the other constituents. This money, let it be administered by the council. This is a rare thing. What else do you expect from a government? You can't account for it. And the government has gone further. This money, 30.6 million, community projects is this amount. administrative costs, so that you are running up and down and training people, sensitizing the communities. This is the amount. Do not touch. As for bursaries, this is the amount. Total, everything, 30.6 million 2025. 30.1 million, 28.3 million, 25.7 million. Now, 36.1 million. Now, this money for the people of Zambia, it should be administered by the council. This is the president. And you and me, who have been around, all of us here, we have been talking about decentralization. It was just a paperwork. Now they said, no, we want fiscal decentralization. Give resources to the functions. The government saying, here are the resources we have been crying for. Then they bring these resources now. It is a field day now. Put aside the regulations. We shall be doing whatever. And they have gone further. WDCs, CDF committees, provincial, or the ministry. We have said, no. We don't want the ministry. We want to be doing it. This is decentralization. Okay, can you be approving? Instead of taking the projects to the CDF committees, you are sharing in your own air-conditioned offices without audacity to seek for permission. And the DF is getting money from this. Can you spend it? Let's buy this. Let's do this. Contrary to the regulations. What has come to ourselves? What is happening? And yet the people there are crying. The regulation says on page 8, do not recruit overaged students. Target is the youths. Our youths have been crying, and the biggest number of our population are the youths. Those who have basic qualifications, they should go for skills training. What else do you expect from a government? You are picking people who are overaged. Who did the appraisals? The planner, where are you? When you took to the CDF committee, did you show them the age? If really these applications were really scrutinized, the answer is no, town clerk. So apology from the face, and the next year it has become a routine. Others are coming to apologize. Every day you come to apologize. Then we are wasting money as a committee. Why are we sitting? We could have called you, town clerk. You said, no, that query, we apologize. We shouldn't have been meeting like this. That query, we apologize. But why are we spending resources? If the commission is not able to follow detail, this should be the major basis of your assessment, all of you. And don't feel sad if you are being demoted or being fired. You cannot be doing this. This is criminal. The rules are there, you are breaking them. It's like you are killing someone. The vice chairman said, what other areas suffered? You are even saying there is no area that suffered. It's not true. Town clerk, it's a sad story. What has happened to the local government? How I wished you be following what the honorable members of parliament talk about councils in parliament. You could pick something. So, in winding up, I thought I should mention that. It's a sad story. Only page 10, just one on page 10 to show you. Unspent funds, community projects. Unspent funds, community projects. Mufurida. We are there on page 10. They schedule down there. I just read. Mufurida constituency. You received the 15 million, Mufurida constituency received the 15,216,297. What you spent for the year 2023, from January to December, what you spent, not for the 2022, not 2024, expected to spend, you only spent 6,501,000 and 57 kwacha. You had a balance as at 31st December 2023. On community projects, you had a balance of 8,715,240. And spent money in terms of percentage, 57% of the money for community projects only. 57%. Kantanshi constituency, you received 15,216,297, just like all the constituencies, just on community projects. What was spent for Kantanshi? It was only 7,119,405 kwacha, and spent 8,096,892. Percentage and spent 53%. Kankoyo, out of 15,216,297, only what was spent was only 5,401,267, and spent 9,815,030 kwacha. In terms of percentage and spent for community projects, 65%. What I want to illustrate, when the Minister of Local Government, any government official is speaking, especially the President, we should pay attention. There are 3 principles the President has been talking about. If we follow that, he has said the projects should be procured at the reasonable minimum cost. Pricing should be reasonable, not to compromise the quality. 2, these projects should be spent within the shortest period. Time is money. If you delay, there are other costs that come in. This is the case that is demonstrating. The other one is on the quality. Where in Mufulira, your own office, council building, you give a contractor, the whole wall is cracked. You are every day using the same office. What more a project far away in Mokambo or other areas? So when you look at this, it's a bad story for you. And this is making you, every day when you report for work, you should be using this. Are we doing the correct things? So I know some of the members will say, no, actually we had CDF committees. They did their work. They approved the projects for 2023 within the year. CDF committees means the MPs are there. The approvals are done. That's what we do. But now it's implementation. You find that this implementation, you want to check, they were done in 2024. Money is for 2023. Accrued into the other year. So when you come say, no, actually, this money was done, all the projects were done. Yes, they were done, but they're not done in 2023. I want to emphasize. This money was supposed to be spent in the entire year 2023. Then you receive for 2024, finish within the year 2024. Then this country will change. So procurement, audit, those weaknesses, director of finance, the entire team, town clerk, you are answering, you are contrary to what is presented. You just like answering for the sake of answering. That's why you keep on apologizing. It's an indictment to the whole team. Things are not going very well in Mufulira. What we are telling you is coming from your report. It's not coming from our own making. Honorable Mutero has told you, read. You even make attachments that are not supposed to be there. Here the voucher is talking about something else. Here is your attachment, some documents is talking about bohos. Yourself. And you check as you come in the other councils. When it comes to the date stamps that you use for the vouchers, you hardly see a date. The vouchers, any document that you use that you think is accountable, it is Dr. D. You find but on the date it's not there. You can't see anything. That's what the councils are doing. But when you go in your offices, the date stamps are genuine and new ones. But the ones you use for audit are different. Thank you very much. pick lessons. This is a bad report. It's a sad story for you, all of you. Even as you go back, know that you're not doing the correct thing. As I always say, we always make our individual independent recommendations. We want to help the government. These leakages of resources, misuse, misapplication should come to an end. If it is us to help, we shall do that. We have resolved as a committee. Without favor, without fear, we shall highlight the omissions. Director of Finance, you are a danger. You can't do that. Stop it. You have no right to be using money the way you feel. Rules are rules. Town clerk, don't even sign. Auditor, you're a gatekeeper. You are not doing your work. They ask for 1 seat a desk, you give them 2. Whatever you want to do. That's Mfurira. I want to thank you for your time. Our immunity is withdrawn. From now on, you are on your own. We wish you well as you go back to Mfurira. Doc and the other honorable members, I want to thank you. You wanted to ask more. This is what we can do due to time. But the people of Zambia are watching, they are seeing. They should come to Parliament and pick these reports even from the council, they see for themselves. Our morals have gone down. We have no fear for public resources. God bless you as you go back. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Mufdira Municipal Council has made their appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and we did see the committee chairperson express his disappointment in the submission that Mufdira Municipal Council has made. And this afternoon, later on, we do expect Ndola City Council to make their submission before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. This is on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. Keep watching Parliament Television, the only station that brings Parliament closer to you. Welcome to another episode of the Journey to Breaking the Silence, where we get to share some stories of individuals living with HIV/AIDS in collaboration with the National HIV/AIDS STIs TB Council Zambia. Today we share a story of a 23-year-old Felista Spiri from Lusaka's Kabanana compound.
Firstly, it was hard. I was told I was HIV positive when I was 14. We went for HIV test with mom, and there were some counselors there. And then they broke the news to me after testing, and then they said, Felicitas, you're HIV positive. It was hard for me. On that very day, what was going on in my head was like, okay, let me just commit suicide here and now, because of the thoughts that were running through my head. Because at 14, I was a bit older, so I could hear rumors that were going on in the community about how people get HIV. And so to me, I was like, okay, so when I go back home from here, people will start talking, saying, so maybe she's been sleeping around, she's been doing all sorts of things, and that's why she's HIV positive. So for me, the information was really hard to comprehend, but I joined a certain support group. We have a support group at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital for young people living with HIV. So I joined that support group a year later, because all this while, like for a year, I had not accepted my HIV status. But then a year later, I was introduced to this wonderful and very vibrant support group where I met a lot of different young people of my same status who are also HIV positive, and then they would talk to me, encourage me, and tell me the importance of adhering to medication. And as time went on, I slowly began to accept my status and accept that, okay, this is now the new me, and okay, this is now the Felicitas that's here now.
While seeking testing is often not common, young Felicitas opens up on what prompted her to go for testing.
What prompted the test, really, I had a very challenging health, if I can put it that way. I would get sick more often. I would get sick, I think 3 years, where I would be in and out of hospital, in and out of hospital. The only one in the family, I have 5 siblings, so we're 6. And I'm the only one who's HIV positive in that family. So I'd get sick, I'll be the only one going to the hospital here and now. So then mom was like, okay, let's go for test at the hospital. And then that's how they did that test, and it came out positive.
Felicitas also discusses some of the challenges she has faced. She also shares how she has managed to navigate around them.
Stress from home, yes. Self-stigma, because my siblings didn't know at that time that I was HIV positive, but the comments that they would pass saying, no, you are lazy, you just get sick more often, you're the only one who's always complaining about being sick. So those comments would get to me, they would stick and saying, okay, this is really hard for me, having to bear this from my own siblings. School. In school, I would say it was also a bit challenging, not really as in I disclosed. I hadn't disclosed, but just how it was taught in